I am Ronnie, and I'm with Rudiment Plumbing from New Orleans, Louisiana. And we are newbies, I guess you'd say, to the new flat rate program. We kind of had our own little pricing system that we've been using for several years. We've been in business about 50 years. My father started about 50 years ago. And we've been with SuccessWare since 2004. To be quite honest with you, we love SuccessWare because they pretty much saved our business right before Katrina. We had gotten into it a year before Katrina, and had we not gone into that system, we probably would have lost everything. So I have a lot of faith in SuccessWare. My family does. You know, we're really kind of indebted to them. So as we're trying to automate the process going forward, you know, price is like a huge problem for us. We started out as a drain cleaning plumbing company, and then we kind of migrated into plumbing, which is a huge thorn in our side because you're dealing with material and labor rates and overhead and, you know, all of this stuff, trying to figure out prices, where drain cleaning is just strictly lucrative. You just come up with a price and that's it. So one of the things I started doing, I was researching, is everybody does flat rate, and we're not really super married to flat rate. We didn't really like that. We didn't like the good, better, best options. We've done like multi-level options, that type of stuff. So we started to go to automation, which brought us to SW Remote, because we want to go to a digital invoice, save the trees, you know, kind of get environmentally friendly. So as I was doing the research, I seen the new flat rate as one of their little videos with the other vendors that they had, and I watched the video. I was pretty intrigued by how different it was and how unique it was, because that's what we try to do to separate ourselves from the competition. So I called SuccessWare or SW Remote, and I called my vendors, and I said, I just had a question. My question really was, out of all of the other vendors, which do you feel was the price book, or I don't want to call it the flat rate, but what do you feel customers are bringing over most? And they said, well, I can't really give you a preference, but if you ask me what I see or I'm uploading into the back office the most, it was the new flat rate. So I said, great. So we started looking into it a little bit more. I think it's Jeff is his name. He's awesome. And we really started talking about it, brought it to our board meetings, did a lot of videos. You guys were awesome to work with because you gave us as much video content as we needed, as many phone conversations. We did Zoom calls. We had my brothers, my sisters, my fathers. We were all on the calls. But that's kind of what led us to the new flat rate. We just started the beginning of this year. Leo, who is phenomenal, worked with us, came and did training. And it was right in the middle of a freeze, probably not the ideal time, but it worked out. And what I can say is, what I've learned in my experience from the past, and my whole family has actually learned, is that when you invest in a system, extremely important to get the training. So when we decided to make the decision, we went with Platinum because that's really the best option, but we also went right into the training, you know, because when I talk to a lot of people, even when we've done software in the past, the biggest problem is they invested and then they didn't do any training. So as a result, they never implemented the program. So we said we're not going to implement unless we train at the same time, which is what we've done. You know, to put in perspective, I lost 150 pounds. Well, that doesn't happen by me not working the plan. So the same thing with, I call it Tinifer. Same thing with Tinifer. That's our nickname for you guys, Tinifer. I mean, if you don't do it, it's not going to work. You can't just you can't go pick the meal and go, I'm just going to give the platinum price to everybody and yay, you got to really service the customer. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to challenge yourself. And the more you do it, it just becomes second nature and it just flows. Just like the way you're given a price right now, at some point you had to learn that, and now it just comes out second nature. This is going to be the same thing as a learning curve to anything, but just do it. Everybody's there to help you. Well, I do. I don't have them like right in front of me, but I track our numbers weekly. So I look at them, and I would say our average ticket has definitely gone up by at least 150 or more, which is a lot, you know, especially depending on how many calls you do in a day. But I mean, at least $150 or more. And this is the guys really not implementing it 100%. That's that's one of the things, like we want everybody to be on board. So I know it can go much higher.